All righty. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom's Queens podcast. We are officially 58 days away from NFL kickoff. There we are. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties tonight on our show.
Just a little bit.
I am just fine today.
we take 1 week off and then everything just decides to not want to work. So not sure what's happening there, but we're here. We made it. So anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I am your host, Lexi.
I'm Chrissy, who will be on mute a lot of the time because I'm at the soccer field.
I'm Jodi. Hey, y'all.
How are you guys? We had a week off. Everyone having a good summer so far?
It's been crazy. Been a crazy week, I think. I know it's only
Definitely
Tuesday,
has.
but goodness
Right?
gracious. Yeah.
Why does this feel like the longest week ever and it's only Tuesday?
I don't know, but it could stop anytime.
It's because last week was just a holiday on Tuesday. I don't know. I just feel like everyone's kind of messed up on our summer schedules. So, but I do want to introduce, we are so excited to be joined by former Chiefs defensive end and the Jets, of course, but we like to acknowledge that he was with the Chiefs because that's our team. Mike DeVito is going to be joining us. So Jodi, if you want to bring Mike in here. There we go. Hello, Mike.
Hey, what's up, King and Queens? How we doing?
Hey. Good, how are you?
Man, you guys, you got me fired up. I haven't heard that home of the Chiefs so long, and I had almost forgotten about it. So I was so fired up during that introduction, like, oh yeah, that's right. Damn, I missed that so much.
I know, right?
Chills every time.
Every time, no doubt.
It's bad because when I'm just like listening to the regular national anthem, I always expect them to say "Home of the Chiefs." Now. I'm like, wait.
Same.
And depending on where I'm at, I do it anyway. So.
Right. There was like some random game last year that it wasn't supposed to be Home of the
Wasn't
Chiefs.
it was a basketball game, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't even the KU game. It was during the national championships or something, but it wasn't the KU game.
It was K-State down in Dallas playing.
Yes, that one.
That's what it
Yes.
Oh, and they
That's
did
it.
home of the Chiefs there.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was loud too. It was amazing.
Yes,
You're like, oh, we're everywhere.
That's so cool.
Well, Mike, I know we don't have you for a super long time today, so we want to get as much goodness out of you as we possibly can. So I know we sent you a very long, audacious list of questions. So sorry. We're going to just jump right
So sorry.
We're like,
We're not sorry. Are you kidding me right now?
We're just excited to talk to you.
I know.
I'm excited. Those are great questions too, so I'm excited to talk.
Good.
Chrissy, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. So Mike, we would really love to hear about your backstory, playing football growing up, your college experience, basically everything that led you into the NFL. We'd love to hear all about your story and just how you became the person you are today.
Oh, that's a great question. Normally we start with the Chiefs, so I'm excited to go back. I was really fortunate. So growing up, my mentor was my father. His name's Vinny. He's from Brooklyn, and he owns a construction company. So he basically fits every Italian stereotype that you can put together. But he was a professional bodybuilder, and my grandfather coached high school football for 30 years in Suffolk, New York. And so growing up, those were sort of the two guys that I looked up to. And I had the best of both worlds. I had, football, and I was learning the ins and outs of the game from a really young age, watching the game. And I also had the weight room. My dad made me lift weights starting in 8th grade. I wasn't allowed to do anything else but play football and lift weights and train. And so, in a time where people diversify so much, especially when it comes to sports and do so many different sports, that was not my story. I was one thing, I was going to all in on football from the beginning. And I was very lucky to have those two to look up to. Right now, I'm currently at the University of Maine. I'm working as a director of player development. This is where I went to college.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, I went here from 02 to 06. So I grew up in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Went to Maine from 02 to 06. And while I was here, I met my wife. I met Jesus. I met my best friend. And so it was easy to come back, live up here now with my family and my 3 boys. And so we're right down the street and just started this role with the team. But I was very lucky to have an opportunity to play at Maine. people are kind of surprised to hear this, but there were a few years there where Maine had almost 14, I think it was 13 or 14 guys in the NFL from the University of Maine on active rosters. So we put out a lot of guys, and I was lucky to be a part of this program. And from early on, really was able to learn about how to play football and treat football like a profession at the college level, because there were so many guys that were going to the NFL from Maine, and so I got to see what it took to be an NFL player really early in my college career. And so that was, that's what allowed me the opportunity to play at the next level. Was I knew how to study film, I knew how to work hard, I knew how to treat football like a profession and not just something you did alongside academics. I mean, we came here and it was all about football, and so it made that transition to the NFL a lot easier. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I grew up rooting for the Jets. So I don't know what
just kidding.
I don't know what my old man was thinking, but my entire family's from New York, from the Brooklyn, Long Island area, all Jets fans. But then my dad thought it'd be smart to take, a small contingent of these Italians and bring them to Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So I'm not sure what he was thinking, but growing up a Jets fan in New England country, that was interesting. I was always getting hell for that.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Got done. And I say all that to say my first year in the NFL, 2007, I actually signed as an undrafted free agent with the New York Jets. And so it was really, really cool to not only live out my dream to play in the NFL, but to play for the team that I grew up rooting for, to enter into that locker room and be around guys that I rooted for, that I watched on television. And now I'm sitting in lockers next to these guys and playing on the same field. And so that was really, really a special opportunity. Spent 6 years with them. We'll fast forward through that. And then in 2013, I was again very fortunate to be one of the first free agents that Andy Reid signed coming over to KC. And so I remember on my visit, when I came to sign my contract, Alex Smith was there, Chase Daniel was there, Anthony Fasano was there. It was the building blocks of the organization that we have now and where we're at now. It really started back then, not with me, but with a lot of those guys and that philosophy, the culture in that locker room that stayed the same. And I really take pride in that. I was very, very fortunate for those 3 years and to be a part of those teams and to be, to have a chance to learn and grow under Coach Andy Reid. I mean, that was just incredibly special. Hall of Fame coach, obviously one of the greatest to ever do it. I would argue the greatest.
Me too.
That's been a controversial topic this week.
It really has.
Yeah. You can tell us the off season.
If I left the office here in New England country and said that, I would catch hell. But we're good.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Probably, yeah, for sure.
But
yeah.
What's been really cool. I'm sorry, I'll stop after this. But one thing, I retired in 2016, and one of the amazing things about the Chiefs is they have this motto that Andy Reid brought over there, and it's on the walls and everything. We come in as a team, but we leave as a family. And I have been in touch with those guys, the coaches, the former players. I'm so close with them even still. And it's really because they've reached out and made sure to keep in touch. And so I can just speak to the family aspect of that organization, which is one of the keys to their success that probably doesn't get mentioned that much as often because there's so many other things going on. But the family aspect of the Chiefs was really special. And I've seen that even post-career. And that's why I'm not surprised at how well they've been doing. Even obviously you have Pat Mahomes and Kels and Reed and all those guys, you're going to do well. But I've seen a lot of teams that had a lot of great players that, didn't make past the wild card game. And I think it's that special culture that Andy Reid has brought over there, that family atmosphere that's really played a role in why they continue to be so dominant.
Well, yes. And I was going to say, I'm going to add to that. Just, you talk about the family atmosphere and whatnot, but with all the things that you guys did when Andy came over and just the type of locker room and the type of environment you all created. And like you said, those were the building blocks. Without that team and without those building blocks that you guys created back when you all came over with Andy Reid and whatnot, we would not have the team we had today. Like, yes, give credit to Patrick Mahomes and to Travis Kelce and whatnot, But if you don't have a locker room that is always there for each other and, you know, going to battle for each other every single day, you're not going to have that team no matter how much talent you have on that team. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I played the Cowboys during my career, and they had T.O. and Romo, and the offensive line, the entire offensive line went to the Pro Bowl, and DeMarcus Ware, and all. And again, they don't make it past the divisional round.
Yeah.
And it's just because the culture has to be there, the talent has to be there, but talent without the culture isn't going to get it done. And so
Exactly.
the combination of what we have in Kansas City is so incredibly special and so unique and rare. But even as somebody who grew up rooting for the Jets and all of that, I couldn't be more happy for the fan base in the organization, because I've never been around a group of greater people than my time in Kansas City. And so, like, to see all the things that you all, especially the years before Kansas City, how tough some of those seasons were, to now see all of that finally pay off. I couldn't be more happy for everybody.
And you were a part of the struggle we went through, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm sure that's relatable as a Jets fan, because I believe, if I'm correct, you were on that last team that they had that made the playoffs. And they haven't made them since then.
Ooh, shots fired.
That was a really cool time. So I was there in 2009, 2010. We went to back-to-back AFC Championship games, and you're right, they haven't been able to pull it together. Now the Jets, it's more than just the culture. I think they're really back on track now, but they've had some disastrous years. Not just with bringing in bad people, and not bad people, but just people that weren't conducive to winning. And Kansas City, I mean, up until like 3 years ago, and this is to my point, the locker room was the same. I'm like exactly the same from when I first got there in 2013. Maybe it was a little bit longer, but I mean, they have kept things the same. There's still so many coaches on the coaches staff that were there when I was there.
Oh yeah.
Very rare, but it's so important when it comes to being successful, and Kansas City gets it.
And then just diving into that a little more, I mean, when you were here, especially when you first got here, you were a part of that insane defense we had with guys like Tom Bahali, Dontari Poe, Derek Johnson, Eric Berry, Brandon Flowers, Marcus Peters, Sean Smith. Like, I could go on and on and on. But I think what a lot of Kansas City fans would love to know are just like maybe some fun locker room stories, some things, just some fun stories from playing here, I guess, your time here.
Yeah.
Some things we might not know as fans.
Yeah, no, it's just, what was really special with those guys, is, prior to coming to KC in 2013, even in 2012, all those guys were in the Pro Bowl. I mean, that was an incredible. Those guys were just incredible players. I mean, Justin Houston, Tom Bahali, you said it, DB, all those guys. And what was shocking to me when I got there was that, these guys were established veterans, Pro Bowl players, future Hall of Famers, and you couldn't tell them apart from the undrafted free agents that were fighting to make the team. I mean, these guys, if you ask me for funny locker room stories with the Jets, I could give you a ton. But when I was at KC, it was business all the time. These guys did not mess around. Like, they went in, and now they joked and had fun, but they went in and went to work. And when it was time to go to work, it was time to go to work. And to see that from a group of guys that were that talented, coming from 6 years in the Jets, where we had some really good leaders and great guys and talented guys, but I'd never seen a group like that was so good and yet worked like they were fighting to make the team. That was scary. And even as a guy coming in, as an older guy and a leader, I felt the pressure to work my ass off and get after it, because these guys, again, they weren't messing around. There was no messing around. You went to work, it was time to work. So the outlier, not that Dustin Colquitt didn't work hard, but like, if you want to hear fun stories and stuff like that, Colquitt was always doing crazy things. But outside of that,
not surprised.
Outside of that, it was business. It was business, which was really impressive. Again, from a group of guys who are most of them will probably be in the Hall of Fame.
So that makes me want to ask you, what are your thoughts about this year's D-line? So when you look at the 2023, this upcoming season, just came off of a Super Bowl win. What are your thoughts about this year's 2023 line?
I look at these guys and think I could not play in this NFL. There is just no way. So I was a 320-pound, two gapping, run stopping, two down, first and second down guy.
Yeah.
And that was my role. Your run stopping guy, like Saunders from last year, he had 5 sacks. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are so explosive, so athletic. It's Kalen Saunders. He went to New Orleans.
Yeah.
I miss him.
I know. We're big fans of his.
Down there.
He was a
He's gonna
stud.
be so good.
We love him.
Yeah.
His run technique was excellent. I used to love watching him because it was like, oh, that's how I prided myself on. But like, I wasn't going to give you anything in the pass game. He is get 5 sacks, and then forget it. You got all those other guys. I mean, it's just, I sit back and watch and think this is a totally different game than when I played. I retired in 2016, so it wasn't even
that long ago.
Yeah,
It's changed so much in the last 10 years. It's crazy.
They are flying, and then you see a guy like Chris Jones, who can,
a monster.
dominate inside, where you just can't stop him. But then, if you want to move him out to 9 technique and have him rush one-on-one on a tackle, can get off the ball, just
right,
split second off the ball, and he's working out. I mean, the guys are so versatile, so explosive, so fast. And I don't say it with a false humility. I would have trouble making a practice squad in this NFL. I mean, these guys are it's a totally different game. It's so fast.
Don't sell yourself so short.
No, I think that's a great take, you know what I mean? Especially because the game has changed so much, just even over the last 5 years. When Patrick Mahomes
really
the league, everybody had to learn how to play differently to that style of quarterback. And now you see so many teams drafting the guys that's going to play more like Patrick. You know what I mean? So it's changed on both sides of the ball dramatically, honestly.
I played Tom Brady 14 times in my career.
Yeah.
When I first got in the league, 2007, 2008, when we were preparing for the Patriots twice a year, even Tom Brady in his prime, they're running 12 personnel, 13 personnel, 21 personnel, gap scheme, downhill runs, ISO, power, and that's the bulk of what they're doing. With Tom Brady in his prime, they're running the football.
Yeah.
Now you're right. Pat Mahomes has changed the entire league, where now you have guys like Allen and Burrow and all these other guys. They're just getting after it. That was so foreign when I first started.
Yeah.
And now it's just amazing to watch. And you're right, Pat has started that entire trend, and he's the best at it.
It's got to be fun watching a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, just since you've played the game for so long, and then watching someone like him come into the league. Like, can you imagine like going up against him in practice every day? Like, what that would do for you as a player? I mean, I
wouldn't have been on the field. I don't know. I don't know how you prepare for that.
So modest.
I don't know how you prepare for that as a defensive coordinator. I just don't know what you do.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting. Everybody worried about losing Tyreek Hill last year. And I think you all brought it up too, but there are a few of the people analyzing the game were saying, look, this is better that the Chiefs are now not just 2 targets, with Kelson Hill, but now they have like 5 or 6 really good targets. Like, this is the difference.
And there's a lot of Chiefs fans still trying to understand that. Like, even though last year we spread the ball out very extremely well, there's a ton of fans like, we need a number 1 receiver. We still need a number 1 receiver. And they don't understand, like, why is Beach not going out and getting this number 1 receiver? Well, you have Patrick Mahomes. You have great O-line. And now you probably might have a top 10 defense this year for the first time in a while.
And you're exactly right. Pat Mahomes with a great offensive line, you could have anybody.
You could throw me out there, and we'd be fine.
Throw the Kingdom's Queens out there. We'll make it.
We'd be great.
Exactly. You would. I'm telling you.
So embarrassing.
But going back to what I was saying, being a defensive coordinator, preparing for all of those threats, and Pat Mahomes and their ability to run the football and that big, nasty offensive line and Pat's ability to make things happen with his feet. I just, when I was preparing for a game, you maybe had one of those elements that you had one or two elements like, hey, this quarterback's really good on his feet, keep him in the pocket. Or this offensive line is really strong in the run game, so we got to be, it was rare that they have everything.
Yeah.
Everything on offense. So when you talk about what it would be like for me, I couldn't imagine. Like, as a defensive lineman, I would be sitting up. I'd have a lemonade. I would rush the passer every down. I wouldn't give a damn about the run the football as much. You know what I mean? I'm just, and then we could get 4 touchdowns behind. Be like, this is whatever. We're good. We got Mahomes. Like, we'll come back. You know, like, I don't even know.
The most stressful thing in the whole entire room, by the way.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
But didn't we find out during like his golf that he does that on purpose? He's like, I always keep it close, and it's like, oh, thanks. That's why we have heart. That's why we all have heart problems. Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah. Ridiculous. So ridiculous. Well, Chrissy, you got another question because I got one.
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually curious, just because we were talking about the Jets a little bit for a while. What are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers joining the Jets and how their team is going to be overall? Because I mean, this is a whole new Jets team now with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's the best they've looked in a while too.
No
they're kind of giving Green Bay, but
yeah, they're like, they're the new Green Bay basically.
Yeah. So I go back and forth. There's a cautionary tale here because I was on the team when Brett Favre came over from Green Bay.
Right.
That's right.
But here's what. So New York is such an incredible. I mean, the Big Apple is just an amazing place, and you got to be a tough mother to. I mean, you just have to, especially as a head coach and a quarterback in New York, you have to be skinned like an armadillo because the media, the fan base, the fans are incredible, but you have one bad series and they're booing your ass off the field.
Yeah.
I mean,
the media is rough in New York.
Yeah.
So like you needed somebody like Rex Ryan, who was just like, I don't care what you say. I'm ready to fight everybody. Screw Belichick.
Yeah.
You got that. You got the modified version of that in Saleh. And you need a quarterback that can handle that pressure, like an Eli Manning, that can take the punches, not just on the field, but from all the external stuff that comes with being the quarterback in New York. Aaron Rodgers doesn't give a damn. We've seen he doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
He absolutely does not.
At all.
So
like he's perfect, honestly.
Oh yeah, honestly.
Yeah. He's perfect. So like when they draft a Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold, I'm like, there's no way. I can see these guys. They're great quarterbacks. They don't have the temperament to be the quarterback in New York. Even with Mark Sanchez, who I love, who is a tough player. We had to surround him with everything. Number one defense, all-star wide receivers, best offensive line I've ever seen. I mean, LaDainian Tomlinson running the football. Yeah. I mean, he needed everything because we knew it can't all be on Mark because he's just not built for that. Aaron Rodgers is built for that. And so, and now it allows them to keep up with, it's so weird the way the AFC East is played out. Like now they can play with Buffalo. Buffalo, when I was playing, was like Buffalo. Like this is the bye week. Now it's like you got to keep up with Josh Allen and Tua. And now the Patriots are at the bottom, which is like just crazy. But even that
and it is like now it's like the Patriots are here. Like
the turntables.
Yeah,
that's incredible. It's incredible. So yeah, I think this is the best. I think Lexi, you just said that this is the best I've seen them. And not just talent wise, but like again, having the characters in the right places to be successful. This is the most optimistic I am about the Jets. The Jets season. And if Aaron Rodgers can come out there and he plays like I've had to deal with him on Sundays. That's scary. He's, I don't know. You all probably know better than me, but like, he's got to be up there with Allen. Like, I wouldn't put him with Mahomes, but I was certainly, when you start talking Allen and Burrow, I'm thinking,
oh yeah,
there too.
What's funny is he had like one down year last season, and that's really it. And everyone wants to like take him almost out of the top 10, and I'm like, I think everyone's forgetting.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And like Justin Jefferson, he put out his top 5 quarterback list. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and he had Aaron Rodgers at number 2 still. So I think, I think this is his chance now. I hope it doesn't turn out like the Broncos and Russell Wilson because that was a disaster. So I hope better. But I also think Aaron Rodgers is a really, really, really good quarterback. So But I guess we can kind of lead that into. So the Chiefs play them week 4 on Sunday Night Football in New Jersey, I guess. Yeah, I'm like, it's not New York, it's in New Jersey technically. But yeah, I just want to know your predictions for that game. How you think our teams will match up this coming season, and who you think is gonna win.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah.
I mean,
we did it. We asked you.
Yeah, I'm glad. I guess you forced me to think about it.
We love putting people on the spot and making them uncomfortable.
That's good. No, exactly. It's really hard for me because I don't know a lot of the people in the Jets organization. So when you play the game, you know, like I mentioned at the beginning, the relationships are so important, and there's so many people in the Chiefs organization that I still really care about. The Jets, I've been away for so long that there isn't that many people in that organization that I know and have relationship with. So you know, even with so I guess I would say this. Even with Aaron Rodgers and everything, I still think KC is the better team right now. You know, and it's a really good game. It's a really good game.
Yeah.
I still think Kansas City on top, and you just like Tom Brady in his prime, you just can't bet against Pat Mahomes. Every time you do, you lose. So like it's just you don't play that hand. But it will be one of those games. I might not even be able to watch it. You know, it's just like this is such a conflict of interest here. I'll just wait till week 5.
You'll have to watch the highlights after.
Together, we haven't seen this fight yet. We haven't seen this game yet. So.
Yeah, something always happened. Like somebody was injured or something. We never got it. You're right.
So I think the world is waiting for this one, which is why I can't remember if it's Sunday night or Monday night, but which is why it's a primetime game because everybody's been waiting on it. Well, my very last question for you, is there anything you would just like to tell Chiefs Kingdom, share about yourself, about the season, just anything you would like to give us before you leave?
Yeah.
Also tell people where to find you, how to follow you, all of that great stuff.
Well, listen, you guys got to have me back on, okay? I'm sorry I had to cut it short today. I'm an hour ahead of y'all, and I'm pushing 9 o'clock over here, so I got to get the kids to bed. Mama's not.
Oh, it's okay.
That is the most important job you can do in your life. So
she's got
we respect it. No worries.
Yeah, yeah. No, I just if I want to say anything, the Chiefs Kingdom is that I miss y'all so much, and I want to. It's amazing that even the short time the 3 years I was there and haven't been out for so long, it's still when I come back, when I talk to y'all. It's still like I was there playing, and I just have so much love and respect for the organization, the team, and that fan base. I mean, y'all are incredible. And like I said at the beginning, I'm so excited that I get to watch this era in Kansas City, not just for the guys and for the organization, but for the fan base that is, really the 12th man. And you don't know as a player how much it impacts us to have a fan base that we know cares about us that much as this fan base does. And that really makes a difference on Sundays. That really makes a difference in the atmosphere in that locker room. And so, another element that doesn't get mentioned that's sort of crucial to the Chiefs' success is the fan base, is Chiefs Kingdom. And so it's important that y'all know that, and I miss you all a ton. And I appreciate you all having me on. We have to do this again. Okay, we have more time. We can chop it up more.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Social sites to find you on.
Oh yeah.
On Twitter, y'all. He's on Twitter, y'all.
I gotta do on Twitter. How do I have to do more on Twitter? I'm Michael DeVito on Twitter, and
we had you in one of our spaces a few weeks ago, didn't we?
Those are so much fun.
Yeah, you got to come back to one of those.
Let me know. Please shoot me a note when you're on there, because I really like talking to the fans on there. That's fun.
Definitely.
But yeah.
I know you're I'm sorry. I know you're getting ready to leave, but are you going to watch the Netflix series that comes out at midnight with the quarterbacks?
Oh, that's right.
It comes out at midnight.
So I have 3 young kids, so I haven't seen midnight in like I don't know how. I don't even know.
Preach.
I wake up at 3 because the youngest is like hitting me to get up.
Oh
and get,
no!
But I will. That looks. I'll tell you what. That looks really well done. And as a guy who can't stand quarterbacks, I was like, damn, I want to watch that. I mean, that looked really good. So yes, I will, not tonight at midnight, but I will watch that at some point. So yeah, that's exciting. Thank you for the heads up because I forgot. That's good.
And hey, Mike, real quick before you go, I want you to know how you were talking about how appreciative you were of Chiefs Kingdom and the fan base. I want you guys to know that last year, my daughter, she got COVID on her birthday. Okay, she was turning 5. And I reached out to Twitter before probably anyone had any idea who I was on Twitter last year. But I reached out, and you, along with some other past Chiefs players, reached out, wished her a happy birthday and things like that. Totally made her day. So while you all are appreciative of Chiefs Kingdom is so appreciative of all our current and past players who really take part in the community. And so I just wanted to thank you for that, for just still being a part of it all, even though you've retired and whatnot. Like, we really appreciate that as a fan base. So
that means so much. How's she feeling now? Is she feeling okay?
Oh, she's great. I mean, she is dealing with something new right now, but she's playing soccer right in front of me right now. She's doing great. So
good. Oh, good. Oh, that means so much. And I'm so glad that meant something to her and to you, because I know, being a parent of young kids, that those times are scary and you look for any sort of relief. So, but thank you. That really means a lot. Thank you. I'm so glad she's feeling better.
Thank you.
Well, maybe we'll try to have you on again, like after that Chiefs Jets game or something, or like right before the playoffs.
That's a great idea, Lexi.
Right?
Put that on the schedule, Lexi.
All right.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
All right. Sounds perfect.
That'll give you time to think about it.
Yes. Got it. Yeah, we have. I mean, we're getting close. I'm excited. So
yeah,
not too far
right
away.
there. Right there. I know. I can't believe how fast it goes.
I'm so glad.
So fast.
You know what?
I know.
Playing 2 decades of football, it's like I'm tuned into training camp just because of the way it smells outside. I can smell the grass and the humidity in the air, and I'm like, it's like August 1st. Football's it's time to go.
We know that Andy Reid training camp is no joke, right?
Oh my goodness.
Old school, man.
I remember, so after the 2015 season, I was pretty sure that I was going to retire when I got done. And that training camp, I finished the conditioning test and just passed the conditioning test. It was so hard. And I remember thinking, thank God I don't ever have to do that again.
You're like, I don't even want to play because of the training camp.
But I am so glad I don't have to show up to KC to run that stinking conditioning test. Oh, man.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us, Mike. We got to get on the road and get back to the family, which we
get back to your babies.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for having me on. And please, let's do this again before the season and the Jets game, okay?
Sounds
perfect. For sure. Thank you so much, Mike. We loved having you.
Mike. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Have a good night.
See you later. Oh, wait, I have to figure out how to do that too, huh? Bear with me.
I can move.
I was muted. You guys couldn't hear me, but I was like, I got it.
Add IT to my resume.
Media
manager.
Thank you very much.
I hate being on my phone. This is
social media manager. Add it to my resume. Anyway,
it's already on mine. So,
well, great interview with Mike. We love Mike. He's very active with us all the time.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
So for him to tap in with us, I know he's tapped in with a lot of other Chiefs podcasts too, but we love having him here, and we will definitely have him back. So y'all just make sure y'all stay tuned in. But
for sure.
There were a few other things we wanted to talk about. So, Lexi, I'm going to turn it to you, and I'm going to look at something.
You're going to look at something. Oh.
All right. I got to send a message.
The suspense. So,
yeah,
I did want to touch a little bit on, and I do want to thank Mike for coming on. That was awesome of him, and can't wait to have him on again for that Jets game. Is going to be fun. I'm very excited about that game. I'm just loving how much NFL talk we're getting right now. Like, we are in that time where it's right around the corner. And, I was looking at as I am the weather woman of this podcast, I was looking at my weather prediction for next week. And it looks like by the time the guys get there next weekend, it's going to be 100 degrees. So lucky them.
It is right now. It's so lovely.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's 105 in Dallas. So
But we did see some interesting news today was the I guess the optimism of getting a Chris Jones extension done was being reported throughout NFL media today, as well as that potentially opening up a place for D-Hop. And it sounds like that could still be in big consideration. And he also, so DeAndre Hopkins also commented on, I guess there was a rumor about if he wanted to go to the Bills and ring chase, because that's what they do in Buffalo, right? With all their rings.
Oh, snap.
Sorry, Bills fans.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No, I'm not. But apparently, there was a rumor of him like going there if he wants to take a pay cut and potentially ring chase, which I thought was hilarious. And he commented on that post on Instagram and was like, he put like the animal emoji of a bull and then that like poop emoji, basically saying like bullshit. So
well, but it's funny because I feel like rumors always circulate like every 30 days. Because I feel like we're just having all of this same conversation in June.
That's all we do.
100%.
I mean, of course, it makes sense. As soon as we get Chris Jones signed, money is going to free up like blood, right? And of course, when we have all this extra money, we'll be able to go out and get whoever we want. But we were talking about this earlier in a space. If D-Hop is like that, why hasn't he signed for a team yet, right? So he's clearly still trying to get way too much money. He's asking everybody for way too much money.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that, honestly. I feel like the rumors have been swirling this week about how he's waiting to see if the Chiefs would offer him something. Like, he was interested in the Patriots and he left there without a deal. So I don't know if it's necessarily the money aspect. I mean, I think it's definitely part of it, but I think it could also be that maybe he is just curious what the Chiefs could offer, because if you have a chance to potentially play with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, like why would you make a decision before that potentially could even happen? You know what I mean? Like, what's the rush either?
7. Like, Beach isn't going to give him more than 7 or 8. So like,
I don't know.
He needs
$7 or $8.
7 or 8 pennies, 70 cents, 80 cents.
If we bring him in, it's only going to be for like a 1-year deal. Like, we're not going to bring him in for a long time deal, not with the amount of receivers that are going to be available next year in the draft. So it's like, dude, here's $1 million, 7. Here's 1 7. There you go. Like,
I think what I see, I think if we do anything, if we get the Chris Jones extension done, because that's the only way this is happening. So we need that to happen first and foremost. And then I think I could see it being like around the 11 million mark. But
like what
I
we
think
thought
that's
Juju was going to get offered.
I think that's going to come with it's going to come with incentives, though. It's not going to be like, you just get this. It's going to be like up to, and we'll give you this signing bonus, and however they can finagle it to work. But it's just interesting. I do think he probably wants to be here if he can be anywhere. He probably sees all the potential we have here, but I don't know. But I won't be surprised if he ends up just like on the Tennessee Titans. But
yeah, I'm still of the mindset that like if we get D-Hop, great. If we don't, like, okay. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, if we don't get D-Hop, we're ruined. Like, I get it.
No.
Like, if we get him, cool. If not, like, we'll be fine. So
yeah,
exact same.
I think we're Super Bowl contenders.
I don't care. He doesn't have to come. Actually, like, that's where I'm at, because we still have all of the first quarter of football to identify who this team is. And if we don't like what we're seeing, we can still go out and get someone before the trade deadline. So, I mean, it is what it is. You don't know what's going to happen in training camp, who won't make the team, because they only have 1 cut this year. So it's not like there's going to be several.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
I find that very interesting. So it's just going to be a big chopping block on the last, after the last preseason game. So that should be
Twitter day.
Yeah, that's going to be wild. Just in sports media, that's going to be crazy. And then also, which we mentioned a little bit there with Mike, but the quarterback docuseries on Netflix is coming out, and it does premiere tonight at midnight. I think Jodi and I are probably going to try to stay awake.
I will not be awake at midnight. Absolutely not.
Episodes 30 minutes, or are they 60 minutes?
Right. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
1 episode tonight, just because. Yeah, I feel like if I start 1 episode, I'm gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's 4 a.m." and
Same.
I'm really angry, and then I have to get up.
Are they releasing every episode up front, or are they gonna make us wait? Do you guys know?
It's Netflix, so usually they put everything out when.
But didn't they do something different with like Stranger Things or something? I don't know. I didn't watch Stranger Things, but I feel like they
Stranger Things, they did like half the season and then half the season like in a month later.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'll probably just release it all if I had to guess.
Well,
I would love that.
Will be starting soon too, so
I'm just excited though. I'm excited to see this different side. Like, I was listening to an interview of Peyton Manning talking about it, and he was actually saying like how it's exactly what they wanted. It was Marcus Mariota, who's for the Falcons, and he's a completely different quarterback than Kirk Cousins and Patrick Mahomes, where he, I mean, okay, so Peyton Manning was saying he's like, I know I'm biased, but quarterback is, he believes, the hardest position to play in sports. Like, not even just football, but in all of sports. He's like, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what everybody on the field is doing. You have 300-pound linemen chasing after you while you're trying to throw an accurate ball. Like, there's so many different aspects of being a quarterback and how much they have to prepare. And I just think it's going to be really interesting. But I think like with Marcus Mariota, like he was benched the last game of the season, but Peyton Manning says he handles it really well. And it's interesting to see that, like how that all unfolds. And then Kirk Cousins had like probably his best season of his career. We were calling him Kirk O'Chains, and he was biggest comeback of all time in NFL history against the Colts last season. And then you have Patrick Mahomes, who, it's not like they knew this when they started filming, but he went on to win the Super Bowl. So I just think it's going to be a very interesting series. I'm excited to see all three perspectives.
Yeah,
for sure.
Anything that gets me closer to football, sign me up. So.
Right.
I know, exactly. It's a great thing to happen in this time during the off season, because there's not, like, we're still waiting on training camp. There's not as much going on. So this is going to be a great conversation topic. I'm very excited.
I know Hard Knocks is going to start really soon. And then I know.
Yeah. Are they making the Jets do that? I forgot to.
I don't even care about Hard Knocks.
They're going to stop paying attention.
If the Jets are on it, I think I'd actually watch, because I'm intrigued by them.
Whoever it is, for sure, just because I need the entertainment in my life. But
right.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the Jets team this season. I think they're either going to be like really, really good or really not as good. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see what they do. Or I guess I should say the same as they've always been, the same old Jets.
No,
but I think they'll be good.
They'll be entertaining either way. Well, like depending on how it goes and how the Rodgers stuff goes. Sorry, Emma's talking. It'll be interesting just to see. It'll be entertaining. There will be a magnifying glass on them the whole season.
Oh yeah,
they'll be under the microscope. So,
well, I don't have anything else.
I don't either.
I know. I feel like we're just in that peak off-season time where not a lot is happening, but a lot is about to happen.
45 minutes. We're good.
We did it. We did good. So everybody, you guys know where you can find us at Kingdom's Queens on Twitter. Find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere you can. We will be back next week at 7 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, just like every week. Probably talking a lot about these quarterback episodes that are going to be coming out tomorrow.
And I think we have another special guest coming on next week, so we'll tease that. I got to confirm it, but tease that as well. So
we're going to tease everything we can.
And hopefully we'll have some signing news next week. That's the dream.
Yeah, maybe some Chris Jones extension news would be great. So
that would be great. Please make sure you are following and liking and subscribing on all of our social platforms.
Yes. So have a good rest of your week, everybody. And until next time, your queens have spoken.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Oh, that's probably me again, huh?
Mm-hmm.